To someone that would say this is too harsh, that the penalty is too harsh, I want to say, why are you inconsistent? Whenever we hear of those school shootings, when we hear about adults abusing children, when we hear about that sex predator, when we hear about that child that's died too early, when we hear about that monster that took the life of a young child, we are all rightfully outraged. Are we not? And we have a hard time being gracious in those situations. What we all want in those situations is the death penalty. We call for it. But why not for the infants? Why not for those who are in the womb? Why are they different? Where is the outrage among Americans? These are our weakest neighbors, the weakest among us, the most vulnerable. And yet we are indifferent when the most innocent are being killed. Why? No, these words are not too harsh. What is too harsh is ripping children from their mother's wombs, and it's supposed to be the most safe place in all this world. But for those who have committed this crime against their children, who have had a hand in it, or maybe even encouraged a mother to go down this road, there is hope for such crimes to be forgiven. That next question is, what hope is there for those hands that shed the innocent blood? It is a great crime. Let's not minimize the crime. Too often in this country, we've minimized the crime of abortion. Let us not for 1 second minimize this great sin. It is a heinous act, and the wage of it is death. And this sin will be judged. And apart from Christ, there is absolutely no hope to be freed from the guilt of this sin. While the sin is great, it is not the unforgivable sin. Jesus Christ said there was one unforgivable sin. And I believe that one sin is the rejection of Him. While this sin is great, God's forgiveness is still greater. His perfect Son shed His blood so that mothers that have shed the blood of their innocent children could be forgiven. It is His life in the place of their life. While those guilty before God only deserve death, Christ is the only sufficient sacrifice that pays this wage. And I truly believe there will be many mothers in heaven that have been completely forgiven of abortion, because our God is that great. And His death, the death of His Son, is that sufficient to save all and any who would come, no matter what the sin, and even this sin.